Comrade political leader, my colleagues, distinguished guests, comrades, ladies and gentlemen, I have to get through this exercise in 5 minutes. 70%, I'm dealing with the subject of 70% of the gross national product of Antigua and Barbuda must be presented to you in 5 minutes. Let me say that I'm extremely excited about the manifesto and the plans of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. Why I'm excited? Because the plan, as enshrined in this document, deals with some very, very difficult problems that have faced this industry. As I stand here, the fact of the matter is that we've had 3 consecutive years of declining growth in this country, 2009, 2010, 2011, representing 25% reduction in our gross domestic product. We now have to structure this industry for massive recovery, to create the jobs, to create the capital in our industry, in order for all of you who are here, from the car dealers to the doctors, the dentists, and the lawyers, to be able to begin to feel the economy of Antigua and Barbuda again. Now, I just want to tell you some of the guideposts that I have envisaged for this industry. And I think it fits very well into the leadership of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, because for the first time in our history, we have a political leader with the discipline of finance and economics in its background. And therefore, the management of our industry will take a different turn and a different emphasis. I must make it clear that is not to say the leaders of the past did not make their mark. And I can tell you, for instance, when V.C. Byrd started, it was during the era when we had to fight for workers' rights and the condition of workers. So you needed the union. During the Honorable Lester Byrd, who presided over the strongest economic growth in the history of the Caribbean in Antigua and Barbuda. And he succeeded in expanding the economy exponentially. There was a time during his tenure where the economy of Antigua and Barbuda expanded about 5% each year. And we had only one time during his tenure when the economy did not expand, no, twice. Once during Hurricane Lewis, and another time when we had 9/11. And in both instances, the management of the economy resulted in rapid recovery from those disasters. Now, if we are going to succeed in this economy and make tourism successful, we must take a private sector management approach to what we do. We must, when we spend money in tourism, look at the returns. We cannot say that we are going to spend $500 million in establishing a website without some kind of justification of that investment and determine whether or not there is financial prudence involved. We must also look at the benefits that flow from tourism. You cannot consider tourism successful by just looking at the growth of numbers of people who come to Antigua and Barbuda. You must look at the partners in the industry, the taxi drivers, the vendors, the hotel owners, the workers. Are they benefiting? We have made a fundamental mistake in this country over the last 10 years by wrongly defining success of our industry, and that must change. Our industry must be driven by excellence. You know, there was a time when I became the Minister of Tourism, I was told that we must focus on the tourism zones, Dickinson Bay, going down to Jolly Harbor. Now we have a different concept, and this is what excites me. Antigua and Barbuda will be the tourism zone. And we are going to adopt the approach of Disney. And Disney's approach is excellence at every step. When someone comes off of an aircraft in Antigua and Barbuda and he goes to the immigration, that person must feel that he has landed in the best place in the world. When he goes to customs, he must feel the warmth and friendliness of the people of Antigua and Barbuda. When he goes and he takes a taxi, he must feel that he is being transported by a diplomat, an ambassador of Antigua and Barbuda. And certainly, when he rides on the roads of Antigua and Barbuda, he must feel like he's on the highway in Miami or some of the big cities in the United States. Now, this brings me to a point that you talk about excellence at every step. One of the things that we tried to do in 1995, and I'm doing this quickly, when we paid off the CDB debt, and I know that our detractors have said we have never paid debt, but we paid off the CDB debt, and Sir Neville Nichols came to Antigua and Barbuda and met myself and the financial secretary and the former financial secretary and former Prime Minister Lester Bird. And he said that having paid the debt, we're going to open up the window of credit to you again. One of the loans we wanted to take was to develop the urban areas in Antigua and Barbuda, Point and Grace Farm and Green Bay. Now, we are going to sell a tourism product in Antigua and Barbuda that says this: you cannot have a waterfront development with modern shops, upscale environment, and have next door slums and squalor languishing next door. We, the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, will, as we develop the waterfront, we are going to simultaneously undertake an urban renewal. We're going to get rid of the slums and squalor in Grace Farm, Green Bay, and the Point. And we are also going to go into the core of the inner city of St. John's. Tanner Street, South Street, and all those places must be targeted for development. Now, you ask the question, how will this be done? Well, let me tell you, I've seen it done in Philadelphia and when I was living in Cleveland, Ohio. What you simply do, you go into a place like Grace Farm and you decide that you identify an area, maybe a quarter of an acre or half an acre of the neighborhood there, and you move those people out and put them in temporary housing, and then you wipe out that slum, you build good homes, and when the homes are ready to be occupied, then they come back and occupy their homes. This will be done in a cyclical way, with cycle, and so it can be done. I know that when we decided that we were going to build the new Navy Street Pier, they said you can't do that. I'm even being told now that we cannot dredge the harbor to 35 feet. And I say, why? Because it would not be safe. But I said Deepwater Harbor is already 35 feet. So the point is that we are going to prepare Antigua and Barbuda for tourism, and that preparation requires the entire island of Antigua and Barbuda. And that includes the villages and all the neighborhoods, especially the urban areas. Antigua and Barbuda is missing out on tremendous opportunities, and not only for cruise ship but overnight visitors. We have not done enough work to attract the major airlines in this country. During the period 2001 to 2004, we had British Airways and the other airline out of the UK, Virgin Atlantic, flying in Antigua and Barbuda daily, and that is a fact. The reason why we have lost that is because this present government has refused to undertake the necessary programs and marketing and negotiate with the airlines to get them here. I remember I ended up in the boardroom of British Airways negotiating and got airlines coming to Antigua and Barbuda. What we have seen over the past 10 years is an attitude that we can't make it. We can't do it. Well, if St. Kitts can move from 200,000 cruise ships per year, and now they're up to 700 passengers, per year. While Antigua started out in 2001, we were about 200,000, 300,000 a year. By 2005, we were up to some 500,000 to 600,000. What has happened? And it must be known to the people of Antigua and Barbuda. The current Minister of Finance went and upset an agreement we had with the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association, and as a result of that, they decided that they would not accept a minister who breached an agreement that was put in place by a previous government, and so they went to St. Kitts, and now the ships are going to St. Kitts. You have, in the summer, as we speak, we used to get 8, 9 ships per month in the summer. We are now getting 3, sometimes 1. They're all over in St. Kitts. We are saying that the tourism can do better. We're also going to be looking at our yachting industry, and the fact of the matter is that we were once on top with the yacht. Antigua was the mecca of yachts. You had, for instance, during sailing week, we had as many as 300 boats in a sailing week contest. When I left the Ministry of Finance, we had about 250. The last sailing week, it was down to about 130. We are saying that we have specific programs to make the yachts feel more at home. We'll look at the way we manage the yachts. We will look at the taxes. We'll look at customs clearance. And we look at all the different factors that tend to discourage yachts from coming to our destination. And what we will do will improve on those factors. We know it can be done because it has been done already. Now, in the cruise industry, we have 17 new cruise lines being built that will be delivered in the trade between 2014 and 2017. These are some of the largest ships in the world. You have the Oasis class. They can go to St. Kitts, they can come to Antigua. We have the Quantum class, which is the newest type of ships coming in. They can go to St. Kitts, they can come to Antigua. I say to the political leader, you have given permission to say that immediately upon Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party winning the next election, we are going to dredge the St. John's Harbor to accommodate the largest cruise ships in the world. And it can be done. What we did when we built the Navy Street Pier, we formed a company. I was the chairman of the company, and my colleague, Comrade Gaston Brown, was right there. We worked together, and the company was the one who raised the money and implemented the project. And we did that in collaboration with the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association. That is part of the innovation one needs at this point in time. And we successfully did that. I want to say to you today that I have already discussed with some of the very people who I sat with in 2001 in Florida at the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association. I presented the idea to them that we'll be forming the next government. We want to come in with them as partners to develop the harbor, and we are poised to get their cooperation. We are looking at expenditure of $300 million to expand the harbor of Antigua and Barbuda. And this expansion will take place from the fisheries complex all the way down to the Point Wharf. Don't doubt us, we have already, since 1995, started purchasing the lands on the waterfront. Where Fuller them had the lands, we have purchased. Where Barnes, we have purchased. We have purchased the lands from Bryson's. There are only maybe 2 other landowners we have to negotiate with, and I'm confident that we'll succeed in negotiating with them. And I think, just imagine you can take a walk from the fisheries complex at the West Bus Station all the way down to the Point Wharf. And as you go, you have shops. You have the waterfront well developed. You have restaurants. And we're going to put a hotel there as well. And I think there will be a marina there as well. Now, this is why I told you that I'm excited. this is the first time that I've seen such a comprehensive plan being presented to the people of Antigua and Barbuda in tourism. This is the first time. Now, before I go, I just want to make a comment about LIAT. LIAT has been mismanaged. The fact of the matter is, when we sat down to negotiate, we should have said to our other regional partners, we need shares for the money that we are putting in LIAT. Not a loan. We are not giving you a loan. We want to buy shares. Barbados did that. Barbados has ended up now with the majority shares in LIAT. And we believe that we can go back to the negotiating table because there is moral justification for LIAT headquarters to remain in Antigua and Barbuda. And let me say that the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party government will work for the establishment of a maintenance facility in Antigua and Barbuda to provide repairs and maintenance of the LIAT fleet, the ATR. And by the way, this opportunity is out there. We have been told that the manufacturers of the ATR wants badly for there to be a maintenance capability in Antigua and Barbuda. This is not something we have to go and sell. It is right at the doorstep. It's been thrown at us. And so the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party will exploit that opportunity, create a maintenance facility right here in Antigua and Barbuda for the ATRs. It opens up opportunities for bright minds who want to be engineers. They're going to get jobs right here in Antigua and Barbuda. I know that there are some other issues, quite extensive, but I think that I have tintillated your interest a bit, and if at some point you would want me to expand, I'd be more than happy to do so. I want to say that come the 13th of June, 2014, I expect to say to the people of Antigua and Barbuda, by standing by my colleagues, that we are ready to rebuild. Thank you very much.